god, this is happening. Oh no. Welcome to Encounter Roleplay, and welcome to Judge Dredd in the world of 2000 AD, back on the block. Let's go around and say hello to the wonderful cast and crew and see how everyone is doing it tonight. Let's begin with the game's mistress herself, Virginia Tabletop Court. How are you doing, Virginia?
Hey, I'm good. I've been looking forward to this since last week, because we never got to any of the good reactions last week, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. After all of the bombshells we dropped, or I dropped on you, and you know, we got Tetley back, so I'm happy as well. It's been a good week, and I'm going to miss doing Dredd so much. This is so much fun.
It's all right. I was just telling people that our finale next week is going to be huge, and then we're unleashing you in Star Trek, so it's not goodbye for long here on a Friday night.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Clearly trusting me with judges is a good idea, so just put me in control of a starship, and what could go wrong?
Not just a starship, a whole universe. I think Virginia is going to make a very good Q. That is all I'm going to say.
It's my natural state of being, Charlie.
Let's hop on over and say hello to Shauna, Flying Cirrus. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Excited. Ever since that whole we might be the bad guys things happened, I'm excited to see what happened, what is going on. So yeah, just ooh.
What is going on indeed? Is Tetley a good boy or a bad boy? Are we the good guys or the bad guys?
Is Tetley our hostage, or is he not our hostage?
Or are we all in his wheelhouse? I would love to hear the theories of Cleric of Cord, aka Cat, aka Judge Talon. How you doing?
Hey, I think we're all just figments of Tetley's imagination at this point. At least I'm kind of hoping we are. Yeah, this is getting serious, and I'm nervous. Talon's about ready to pull a Shae and disappear into the block.
Don't you dare pull a Shae. We already have one, and that is more than enough. Just ask Judge Reinhold, played by producer Trav, aka Travis.
Hey, you know, narratively, I think we're right where we need to be. We've murdered our own, but our intentions were good, and we've got the scent of the most dangerous foe, and the odds of us winning are low, to say the least, and that's what makes great, you know, fiction. So I'm working on a screenplay, and I retain all rights to the storyline of this game, and I have an NDA that I wrote myself in crayon that I will fax to you. Hi, I'm producer Trav. I'm playing Judge Reinhold. I've got 3 eyes. I've lost my goddamn mind, and here in a second I'm going to be in my underwear. Not me, my character. Let's get it on.
Someone who's always Susanna Grace. Hello, Susie.
Charlie, stop giving away my stream secrets. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about any of this, because at the end of the day, Judy's just far too famous for jail. So it's going to be fine for Judy. She'll just walk away fabulously with a beautiful apple-scented hair into the loving arms of her tiny husband, Kane, or Bunny, as he's known. But I'm looking forward to where it's going to go and our explosive finale next week.
Boom, bitches. Yeah, so that is everyone. Before I hand over to Past Charlie, I would like to remind you all to keep an eye out for the polls and chat today. We have one coming up very soon. We'll have one at the end for Judge of the Week. Also, hit that click button if we do anything extra ridiculous or extra awesome. I love seeing those, and the internet should remember these things for all time and use them against us at a later date. What's more, we have the donations down below. Thank you so much to Mecha Spider, who just joined the Chaos Chorus over on Patreon. 100% of our Patreon does go to paying the wonderful cast that you see here, along with 50% of our donations, which you can use to influence the game. Ooh, I'm excited. Can you tell I'm excited today? I'm feeling the buzz. Susie and I were shooting Nazis not long before we came live, so it was a good time. I'm going to bring that energy into the rest of the session, but before we do and we deep dive into exploding Nazis and judges, let's go see Past Charlie. Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice, All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com. So yeah, Judge Judy is Martha Stewart. I'm glad we've clarified this. In the meantime, let's dive into today's game. Give us the inside scoop, if you will, Virginia.
Well, last week we left off with our judges investigating the arcade. And they ran into a spot of trouble when another judge squad showed up after they had been informed that they were being searched for. The judge squad first appeared with the first judge looking like Dashford, and our judges here opened fire. Midway through this, the real Dashford arrived, along with Tetley at his side, who attempted to attack Fremont, but thanks to a growing fire, got knocked back by the explosion, and is seemingly a bit more with it now. They burnt Dashford to a crisp, leaving him unable to answer any of their questions, and I don't know if any of them considered the fact that he might have been under mind control, since we knew he was abducted. And he was one of the mission judges you were asked to locate and bring back, apparently. You managed to kill the other judges before questioning one of the dead ones and asking them where Shae was, only to find out they had no idea who, in fact, Shae was. You then slowly discovered that perhaps these judges were actually legitimately out to find you, and that you had been classified as rogue by the department. And upon a quick phone call to Judy's wonderful husband, we found out that the room that Waits and Judy had been in, and Fremont later on that morning, didn't exist in the halls of justice. The woman that they spoke to, whose name they never got, who Fremont had sworn that she'd seen around, also couldn't be traced, leaving our judges with two legitimate dead judges. One slowly bleeding out as they drag him back towards the refuge, leaving the arcade, and a burnt to a crypt Dashford, and a Tetley in tow. And that is where we start off tonight, as you are... we had a bit of discussion before stream that you weren't going to stick around in the arcade. You were going to grab, I believe, Dashford's body and the slowly dying judge and start making your way back to the refuge. And I want to know what's going on in your heads. What conversations are you having as you make your way probably quite quickly down these stairs after hearing the words over the phone, Judy? The room doesn't exist. That woman doesn't exist.
For the moment, Judy compartmentalizes that, and she grabs Dashford's crispy corpse, slings it over her shoulder, turns to the rest of them. We have to go now.
I agree. This is way, way worse than I initially thought. Get the judges, get the evidence, and let's go downstairs.
Talon's on the comms telling Jenna to meet them down at the refuge.
Waits will be pulling the IDs, the shields off of the dead judges that we got. Having obviously made sure that Fremont was alright with a little bit of her blood. And a big thank you to Radiator RPG, who donates another 300 bits. Crit to the first person to Dipsit. Fingers on noses, go. Susie. Quick on the draw. Alright, I'll get that on. Thank you so much, Radiator RPG.
Okay, so Judy has got Crispy Dashford, as we're now going to call him. Waits, you're pulling off the badges off these other two judges, and assume putting them away in your pouches. Fremont, you're feeling a little bit better after some of this blood. Can you just go ahead and roll me 3d6, please?
Cool. All right. 3d6. 9.
Okay. You feel okay. There's a kind of metallic taste in your mouth that's like right in the back that's kind of bitter, but you feel strangely invigorated.
Cool.
There's a bit of your brain that maybe wonders, maybe this is what all the fuss is about with weights. But otherwise you feel fine. You don't find any nasty side effects in the next few minutes at least.
Yeah,
And
this is... Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is at the back of my mind at this moment, because we totally might have killed some innocent judges, so we'll worry about that later.
So you start to make your way down the stairs towards the refuge. Judge badges in hand, Tetley in tow, and our crispy Dashford slung across Judy's shoulder.
Talon's carrying the unconscious judge as well, the one that we left alive, leaving the other 2 bodies up there.
Okay. And as you start making your way down, people again start coming out of where they were hiding. This attack has been witnessed. There is no doubt about that. People peer as you go past.
Can I add a quick detail? That Grease probably would have picked up the weapons from the dead judges.
Yeah. I absolutely imagine that is what Grease is doing in Brando mode. And you start making your way down, and word has clearly got round that there has been judges fighting judges. Because even as you go down the stairs, there are people who are looking out of corridors. There are people who have got their doors cracked looking through as you make your way down. By the time you make your way back to the refuge, you can see on the upper balconies, the ones that look down into the atrium through the floors, you can see there are people watching. And there's no way you can hide the dead, burnt judge over your shoulder, Judy, or the unconscious one that you carry, Talon. Clearly, it didn't take long for word to spread, and people now want to see for themselves.
Talon's going to make eye contact with every one of them. They know her. They know her reputation around the block. And she's just going to look at him like, don't. Just don't.
Nobody approaches you. No one comes to talk to you. People are kind of keeping their distance, but people are watching. And there is a mixture of looks. Some are just indifferent. They're clearly here just for the drama. They're here because something happened. There are a few of them with what looks to be some sort of recording device, perhaps the equivalent of a camcorder. There are some people who look visibly angry and disgusted. After all, you are the team that brought order back to this block, and you know how quickly information can spiral out of control, especially when it's hearsay through word of mouth. But you make your way to the refuge, you unlock the door, and you find yourself inside.
So Reinhold is bringing up the rear here, and as he is the last to get into the refuge, you notice that he has taken off his boots and his shirt. This is the Dredd uniform, so I'm assuming this is some heavy-duty leather, and begins to wiggle out of his leather pants, muttering under his breath, "Oh, shit, meat fan. Here we go. Talon, can we put the coffee on? And got any of those little? I'm in the mood for shortbread. You got any of those little cookies, like the Whitman's sampler, or the scones? You know, with the little shortbread.
Yeah.
They look like little shells. You know,
She's gonna
crumbly.
She'll dump the unconscious. She's gonna go back to the back room. No, she's not, because that's where the little girl is. She's just gonna dump the unconscious judge on the sofa in the front area, and then go in the kitchen and just start making up, just getting some soup and stuff for everybody. Coffee.
Excellent. I'll have one of those. And Reinhold goes back to the bathroom to retrieve his terry cloth bathrobe, and emerges in his boxers and the bathrobe.
As you make your way to the bathroom, Reinhold, you can hear a soft banging on one of the doors, and the voice of Karis's mother. Just, hello? Is anyone there? We've been in here a while. hello? And this is when
People
it
in here.
dawns on you that Karis and her mother were left locked inside the armory for their safety. And you can hear Karis call out after her mother, after this like gentle banging. It's not urgent, it sounds like it's more to get someone's attention. And you hear Karis's voice. Did you find him? Have you got Judge Tetley? Hello? Wait!
I open the door.
Yes, Judge Charisma. We
You
have
open the
recovered
door.
Judge Tetley.
And Karis's mother looks relieved. Her entire figure kind of slouches a bit more once she sees that you're here, and you can see Karis has clearly been crying. The tears have long since dried. She's still got that workbook, and she comes out and she's like, "You found him! I did this!" And she kind of hands you the workbook off to look at as Tetley comes padding around the corner towards her, and she starts fluffing him up and snuggling him and, fussing over him.
Judy, after depositing Crispy Dashford down somewhere, she kind of takes a moment to look at this good and wholesome scene before she scoops Karis and Tetley up in her arms, puts them back in the armory, just says, "Hold on one sec," and shuts the door again.
You
Before
shut the
she
door
turns
and
around.
you can hear the
Go ahead.
muffled sounds of Karis in the armory being like, "I missed you, Judge Tetley. I'm glad you're okay." And, she's fussing him and telling him, he's a good boy and the usual.
Mhm. And Judy turns around because while that was really adorable, and it does bring a little bump to the old heart there, we've got bigger problems. So I just spoke to Kane back at the arcade, and Waits Fremont, the judge that gave us our assignment, doesn't exist. The office we were in doesn't exist. And that came from Kane, so it's not bullshit.
Yeah, that's just wonderful.
It's her. It's her. You guys get it? Don't you get it by now? It's her.
I read the mind of the dead judge, and apparently they have no idea who this Shae was. They might have actually been doing their job.
So if it was Shae that implanted this office in our heads, what was the goal here? To get rid of you? Because you know who she is?
To make us rogue judges.
It's payback.
Yep. She's 5 steps ahead, and been trying to say this. The mission is now her destruction. Period. There is no going back. Shed the role of judge. I have removed my uniform. I will not be putting it back on. And I'm going to curb stomp her mind with my bare feet. And you guys are either in or you're out, because we're all in this together. She's turned our own force against us, and we walked right into it. So there is only one goal at this point, the way I see it.
And interrupting your conversation here, I imagine you've still got your monitor screens and stuff on here within the refuge. There is the blaring sound of something coming over the top. I imagine that Talon probably has some other stuff on this computer, considering how much time she spends here. And it looks like some kind of news report is coming through. And there is barely any footage that's showing. It's grainy and it's blurry, but it clearly shows a firefight happening. You recognize the deep overhead purple lighting of the arcade. You make out your own selves. Barely, but because you were there. And the report, as you listen in, very much details what an embarrassment to the halls of justice this must be. To find rogue judges, the ones who were originally assigned to protect this block, now fighting against their own. There are some wild accusations about why you've come back, why you've decided that you put the work into the block and now you're in charge after you've taken out the gangs. There's word about you, Judy, that the fame of your television show just wasn't enough, that you had to get yourself wrapped up in this to gain even more notoriety. Apparently your show wasn't doing so well, they've suddenly decided. Reinhold, you are branded as a murderer after there are several interviews with people who claim that they witnessed you murdering somebody within the block. Talon, you are not free from the bastardization that they are putting on here, as you are listed as somebody that, that was seen as helping to rebuild, but has secretly been swindling the businesses, has been trying to take over. You're compared to a mobster in that regard, with your bodyguard, Gorilla, who you know as Horatio. Wait, there are some rumors flying about you. None of them are quite on the money with your mutation, but all of them paint up something that you've done. Something that that you are the judge who was the most straight-laced. You were influenced by Judy and brought into a life of crime. And Fremont, you are listed on there. They talk about the terrifying things that you've done, the things that people have witnessed. You are a side judge out of control. Greece is mentioned very briefly in this report as the judge that was less seen on the block. And Marlon Brando is also mentioned as having returned. And perhaps the judges are working with him. Perhaps they formed their own sort of crime family. Since Brando was famous for being able to hack judge tech. So perhaps Grease did himself a favor by staying undercover for most of the initiative last time.
He's the worst one! How did he get away with this bullshit? I am so angry. I think
he didn't shoot a judge. He didn't shoot a judge.
He shot a lot of people, though.
As Brando.
And armed a lot of terrorists.
As Brando. Which is not helping the case.
People need to be less monkeyist and spot that monkey is the same monkey as that one. Waits storms out of the refuge.
And as you storm out, Waits, as this news report continues, and they speculate, the headline's the same, that this is an embarrassment. This looks bad on the halls of justice. It's wild speculation. Tiny clips of footage from people that were probably watching hidden away inside their shops. There is brief footage of you making your way back to the refuge. A few seconds, but you can clearly see slung over Judy's shoulder the burnt, crispy Dashford and the other unconscious judge. It said that there is no comment on what the halls of justice are currently doing at this moment in time. And waits as you leave. You nearly trip over something outside. There is a bag. It's blue, it's made of a kind of ballistic material, and it's got a huge cross on the side. This is a medical kit. It has, as you nearly trip over it, it kind of kicks open. There is small oxygen canister and gas mask. There is some pain medication, various things for suturing and packing wounds. And you recognize this has definitely come from Jana's medical center.
I think Yates just hauls it in through the door and uses the radio to say gift from Jana, but she's gonna just continue. She needs to go walk before she does something she doesn't want to do.
You go out and walk and you can see there are still people watching. There are more people watching here. People are standing at the balconies, eyes on the door of the refuge. And as you come out, there are whispers. There is talk. You hear someone call out, "That's the mutant one!" Even though the reports didn't actually get your mutation right in the first place. And you keep walking.
She calls back, "One of two mutants, learn to count," and continues on her patrol.
And you continue. There's some jeers shouted back in your direction. The streets here, well, not so much the streets, but the corridors here feel a little less safe, knowing that you've just been partly discredited. Where do you go?
Judy, your show still, you're in season, 16, 17 at this point? Right?
Yeah.
It seems as though, to me, you're sort of uniquely placed to tell this story, from your perspective and from, the judges who went through this. I don't care if they call me a murderer. I don't care what they call me on television because we're at war. And it's a hot war now, not a fun, cold one. But it seems to me like this would make a cracking good episode of your show.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about me. Say what you want about my parents. You go after my ratings? That is not gonna do.
As you say this,
It's on.
Judy, the report continues. They've clearly decided this is worth quite a significant news segment, as you imagine it would be. And the picture of somebody, live video comes on screen, and you recognize the person on there. Judge Kane. Judge Kane, have you got anything to report that Judy is involved?
Fremont just looks at Judy. It's like, oh no.
And it's
Judy's
the reporter
fist.
crew. And it's a news reporter. And Judge Kane, have you got any comment on your wife being involved with the other criminal judges? Is this part of her show? Is this a ploy? Are you involved? Do you know what's going on? Did you have a hand in setting this up? And you can tell he is not impressed at all. You can also see there are several other judges here walking with him. It's almost like he's got an escort. This is towards the halls of justice.
Mm-hmm.
He is very clearly being led in. He doesn't answer these reporters, but they keep asking wild questions that from your time in television are designed to elicit some sort of response, something they can grip onto, just a word, a sentence, and he gives them nothing.
That's my man. Judy says very
But-
quietly to herself.
He is being hounded by this reporter. And it's at that point that eventually the news segment breaks. They say they'll offer more information when they give it. They're waiting to see what the Hall of Justice will say about this. This has caused a storm. This is an embarrassment. For some of you, this may be what looks to be from the outside the biggest F-up that you have seen in many years. And the
It's just
report
important
ends, the
that-
volume dies down.
First off, you got to give it up to the local media. They are on it. What, we just walked down these stairs and they're already cutting B-roll of us with crispy dead judges? Not the point. The point here is there's 2 dead judges and one of them is still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We have a hostage. Great.
So we don't have a whole lot of time because
Oh, no.
they know we're here. This is their property and equipment. We are officially outside of the law. And if I seem rather calm about it, I mean, I'm not saying I saw this coming, but I totally saw this coming. She will turn all these walls to Jell-O pudding and our minds right with it if we let her. So the real problem we have here is that the hostage we have is not going to have any more information as to the true location of our opponent, and that's where I'm at a loss. I'm open to ideas because it's time to track Shae down and annihilate her immediately, and I'm going to need some more coffee while I figure out how to do that. If you could just hand me that right over there, Talon, that'd be great. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Fremont, you can speak with the dead, right?
Yes. The other one was not as helpful. Didn't know who Shae was, but I suppose I can try Dashford.
Try Dashford.
Oh, the state that he's in, it might be difficult, but I can try. It's desperate enough. We don't have enough time.
The quicker we can find answers, the quicker we finish this.
All right. See what we can do about the living one. I'll see what Dashford knows, if anything. And I will speak with the dead. I will use.
Okay, you go over to Dashford's crispy, burnt body. Nearly tripping over that medical bag that waits chucked into the refuge as she stormed out. And as you go over, something catches your eye as that bag's kind of spilled open. There is a small box in there, and you recognize it immediately as you're passing. Blockers. You didn't know Jana had access to those. But they're there.
If you want to just like look at it, kind of like those. She'll pick them up and she'll show everyone. It's like blockers.
It's not a lot. It's a very small batch. You know that you asked for some from HQ, but they hadn't officially arrived. And as you open up the box, you can see there's maybe 2 doses, 3 at a stretch, and there's a note that says, "I heard about this in the briefing, Fremont, and I asked Jana to deliver these to you." And it's signed off by somebody that you know, and I'd like you to tell me who this is. This is another judge that you know, one that perhaps has walked this beat quite often before, through the block. And it's very obvious that these were delivered probably quite soon after you put a request in, but you don't know how long you've been considered rogue for by the Halls of Justice. But clearly somebody saw that request and made sure that it was fulfilled regardless. Who is this person? What are they to you?
I would just say that I think it was from Judge Hast. Good friend in the side department. We got enrolled around the same time in the psychic program. Stayed close. One of the few friends that Fremont has other than Judy, I think.
That is who has signed off this note.
How?
And maybe you start to wonder how long you've been rogue for, if somebody had to sneak these to you through Jana.
Mm-hmm. How the hell did... What's going... Judy. It's from Judge Hast. How...
What?
These blockers were sent. What's going on?
Is this another one of those fucking inside jobs again? Did we not have this problem like 3 months ago?
Yes, but we seem to be cursed. Why has this happened to us over? They probably think we cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was sent,
we should
how long
use
has this
them.
been going on for?
I don't know. It's clearly something.
One of you should take it. Judge Reinhold, does this woman look familiar? And I'm going to telepathic send and like put the image of the woman the judge that assigned us into his mind. This is the woman that assigned us.
Reinhold, you see the image of a woman sat in an office as your viewpoint comes in through Fremont's, almost the memory of it. A pristine office, clean, tidy, nothing out of place, filing cabinets, the plain desk, the file that is placed down that is marked as being confidential. And the woman sat there wearing the traditional black uniform. She's an older woman, maybe in her 40s, with a face reeked with lines. Somebody who clearly has worked as a street judge for many, many years. You can see the years of having walked beats, dealing with criminals written across her face in those lines, and the way that her skin is slightly unevenly colored in places from having been out and having worn a helmet, leaving only the bottom half of the face exposed. And she is a plain-looking woman other than that. A hardened exterior, but plain. And, you know, you don't get a good view of the room as such, as the image focuses in on her, but the room itself is clean, pristine. And you watch these few moments of memory, just making out the voice as Fremont sends this to you psychically. And you notice something that I think Judy pointed out before. There's nothing about her. There's no habit. There's nothing distinct. She doesn't have a twitch. She doesn't fiddle with a pen. She doesn't do any of those things that you could try and pick up on when you're taught to kind of read people and recognize people through mannerisms and the way that they talk, or the way that they might pick at the side of their face or run their hands across each other. She doesn't do any of that. But this woman, you don't recognize her.
This is a shade. It's a phantom. It's what she wants you to see. This is the individual who gave you this mission. That's what you're showing me?
Yes, she gave all of us weights, Judy, myself.
No. Shae is slender. Virginia, back me up. He begins to describe the Shae he knows. 5'10", 11, frosted tips on brown hair, black hair?
Brown hair, yeah. So she's a very tall, kind of lithe woman with very, very kind of pale skin, this dark brown hair with blonde tips at the end. Still quite pretty in how she looks, but very, very thin. Judy, you are also very familiar with her, having known her not massively well, but kind of in passing back when she was still at the Halls of Justice. And in your most recent seeing of her in whatever place you were in.
It's a shade. Call him Dougpas sometimes. It's it's she can make versions of herself in anybody's mind. It could be anything she wants you to see. It's how powerful this individual is. Managed to fool all of you. This thing you're sending me, look at her. She doesn't even move. It's not human. And it's not your fault for not picking up on it. That's how powerful this glamour is that she puts on us. She can walk right into your head, change anything she wants.
There's a soft knocking coming from the armory door. Hello? Can I come out? Yeah, I'm hungry.
We're talking.
And there's a couple of barks from Tetley as well.
I'll stop. I've finished up bandaging the unconscious guy. I'll take them some food, look at the others, and I'm just going to escort them back into the bedroom. So they're out of the armory and they're in the bedroom.
You escort them back towards the bedroom, and you can see Karis's mother looks like she's propped herself up on a bed and kind of fallen asleep almost in the time that you have been chatting, having been locked in that armory for quite a while. And as you go through with Tetley and Karis, she's like, I'm so glad you found him. Did Judge Waits look at my work? Did I do good? Did I do good on the workbook?
Judge Waits had to go take care of something, but I promise as soon as she comes back, I will make sure that she takes a look at it. We've had a few things come up, and I just kind of give Karis's mom this knowing look, like, not right now. Now is not a good time.
Karis's mom is actually
make sure that they're comfortable
on this bed.
Asleep?
You look over and it looks like she's kind of propped herself up waiting and has fallen asleep, probably out of just sheer mental exhaustion of worry. And you see Karis sits down on the floor with the food that you brought her, starts fussing Tetley, and kind of it looks like his collar's got kind of twisted, and she takes her hands to kind of shift it around, and her eyes go wide as she holds onto this collar. You know, like when dogs get them like stuck around the back of their neck, and she pulls it round and her eyes go wide. No. And then she blinks.
What did you see?
What?
What did you see,
pulling the
Karis?
collar around, ruffling Tetley's ears. And she just looks at you confused. What?
When you were straightening Tetley's collar just now.
Yeah,
What happened?
it was twisted. It didn't show his tag properly. And judges have to look neat all the time. That's what Judge Waits tells me.
Yes, they do. You didn't see anything or hear anything? Something that bothered you?
No, I like Judge Tetley. He doesn't bother me. I'm glad he's back. And she wraps her arms around him again. As he kind of nudges away and nudges her towards her food, nudging the bowl closer to her as she sat cross-legged on the floor.
Do me a favor, would you hold his collar again? Slip your fingers in and hold his collar again? And see if you can pick anything up. Tell me what you see, what you hear.
Okay. And she looks confused, but she does it. She's like, I don't know why, but you're a senior judge to me, so I have to do what you say. That's what Judge Waits said anyway. So she takes the collar. She's like, you want me to do it like when I do my exercises?
Yes, just like your exercises, like with the button.
And she closes her eyes and she screws up her face like you've seen her do before. I don't see anything.
All right. Go ahead and eat. I'll bring some more back for your mom.
A very dark and sinister voice in my head went, "Make her touch the body."
No, I am not doing that to that little girl. No.
Which one? The crispy one?
The crispy one!
Oh my god.
You're all terrible people.
I was watching Haunting a House Hill last night, and I think it's given me ideas. Poor Karis.
And Talon, as you move back into the main room, we will come back round to Judge Fremont as you are making your way to the burnt body of Dashford to speak to it, I believe.
Yes. So I'm going to use that power and just see if I can.
Do you have to make a roll for that?
It is. Ooh. It doesn't look like there's a contested roll to it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it say how many questions you get or how long you can speak to them for?
I'm able to ask it a question. You must yield. Yep. Okay. I think every time I use it, it's a question.
Okay. What do you wish? You can feel the strange psychic connection there to what lingers within as it kind of it jolts the brain. It's almost like your kind of electric-y psychic blast as you fire up some of the neurons psychically. What do you ask?
You were missing from the Hall of Justice for quite a while. But you're here now. What happened?
You can feel the psychic link back. And this time there is no words, perhaps a result of the sheer devastation of this body. But instead there are flashes of images seen through Dashford's eyes. There is the morning where he puts on his judge uniform and he checks it in the mirror of the locker room, making sure that the brass looks polished, making sure everything's done up and buckled securely, and puts the helmet on. You hear the muffled sound of a radio, probably giving him his orders for the day, information that needed to be known. He goes out. He's in a squad with 2 other judges. They get on their law masters. And then the next image you have is the walk as they come through the entrance to the block, that hangar door that's off kilter and has been ever since you first arrived here. Going through, they're greeted by a few of the citizens who kind of nod hello in respect as they make their way through. They patrol around the lower atrium. They grab some food at the same eatery that you met up with everybody. Actually, the others met up in. And there's flashes. They're going up the stairs. They're checking in on the refuge, making sure that the door is still secure. Up some more stairs. It looks like they split off. You notice Dashford's vision snaps sideways when he's with the two other judges. It looks like he's heard something, maybe. And he waves the other two off to continue patrol as he kind of, at a light jog, it seems, judging by the way the image moves and how quickly he approaches his corner as he goes to investigate something that he's seen. He turns the corner and there is a woman slumped up against a wall. The way that her body moves looks like she's crying. The woman is tall, pale. She's dressed in a pair of blue jeans and this kind of long shirt that's a bit oversized for her. Dark brown hair with these blonde tips. And you see Dashford come up. You see the brief glance down as he puts his hand by his lawgiver, just in case. Protocol as always. Approaches the woman with his arm outstretched, and you can't tell if he's saying anything. But he places his hand on her shoulder and she looks up. And she's grinning. This horrible smile that could be so pretty is the thought that you get from his mind, but it's so menacing. And she's not crying. And as he puts his arm out, she puts her arm to his shoulder on the same arm. And then his vision starts to go blurry. It starts to go black. And you get the feeling that you're pulling the helmet off. The strange movement, even in this darkness that you're aware of. And when he opens his eyes, he is stood, bound, in this strange room. There is the sound of birds in the background. The smell and the look of fresh grass on the floor, but these grey walls that remind you of a warehouse. And she leans down into his face. This woman, who you guess from her description is Shae. And she says, "Don't worry. Don't worry. Only I can see you now. Until you're ready. Until you have your chance. Till I have my chance. No. They might have forgotten me, but I will show them. I will show them up to the world. I will show them what they are. And you will help." And you feel yourself thrash against this as the eyes blink. And you get snapshot images, seconds. It feels like torture. The same room, the same bindings, her face shifting. It's like a badly spliced together movie. A snapshot after snapshot plays, and it feels like a train coming off the rails, as by the end of it, you start to feel more and more delirious as you look through this. And there's something in you that finds, there's no thought, there's no words to put to it, but like something is changing and breaking and forming. And before you know it, you are walking down a corridor with a dog at your side into a room full of gunfire. And then there is nothing but flames.
I think the last part is definitely something, because like I think she knows what Shae's doing. She just never has been on the side where you can't protect yourself from. And she'll just like kind of fall back. Like she has like a little bit of blood coming out of like one the side of her eye, and she just kind of just snaps to Reinhold and just like puts the image of that room in his head. Like, this familiar? Was this the room? Oh.
You might have to repeat that for Travis.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My 4-year-old wants to know about side
Oh,
duck.
no.
I'm explaining side duck to a 4-year-old. Go. It's oddly appropriate for this moment. Go
I
ahead.
mean,
I'm
that
listening.
is thematically appropriate, but yes, just pretty much just like snaps the image of the room that Dashford was in. It's like, is that familiar? Is that the room?
Is it familiar? Is it the room?
It is. It reminds you of the room with the bird song on the grass from when you first saw Shae.
Yes. This is the room. This is the place.
I'll consider yourself lucky because the same things that was happening to you before we got you. Dastard was not so lucky. He broke. Oh.
Let's take a moment to welcome
Yes,
in
take a moment.
Zippy
Oh, no
Zippo, who
problem.
is joining us right now. Hey, Zippy, how you doing, friend?
Hello, just keep going. I'm good. I came in late. I was talking on the phone with somebody important about a project that I needed to
It's-
get done. So
All good. You should know the Halls of Justice have decided we're rogue judges. It's all over the news. Everyone knows the shit we did. But you got off lightly because you were undercover as Brando. So congrats, friend.
sweet.
And also shout out to chat. We've hit 5 subscriptions this stream, which means 2 Wild Magic Surges. The fact that I bought 2 of the subscriptions means nothing.
Let's roll them, Charlie. Let's roll them.
Yeah, let's do it. Susie and Shauna, why don't you roll those 2 1d10,000s for me? As I welcome
boy.
in producer Trav, new subscriber, and Thor to the fam.
I do. I got a yellow submarine. It says encounter roleplay on it.
Sure does. Branding is strong. Alright, I'm opening up the Wild Magic Surge table.
The table scares me. It freaks me out. One time I was a murderer, and the other time like glitter came out of my ears or some weird baloney. I don't know.
I mean, technically, according
Anything
to some
could happen.
people, you are still a murderer, Judge Reinhold.
Thank you, Virginia. Thank you for that.
Judge Judy has no fear of heated metal.
This is true.
I mean,
That makes
always.
sense, though, right?
Alright, so the first one that we rolled, Virginia, that you can incorporate to anyone that you want, is the next 1d4 attacks on this person equally affect the attackers. So there is some rebound going on that.
Okay.
And Shauna rolled 555 Let me download that one up.
That's how we're gonna win this thing.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna use
do
that
that one
bounce
for
back on Shae.
Reinhold.
Ooh,
Because
nice.
Travis seems excited about it.
Let's get a reroll on that one, please, Shauna.
okay.
That was really gross. I don't want to do that.
Oh no.
Vetoed.
Director veto.
Oh boy, that's a
It's
low.
time. Ooh, it's a low one.
That's a low number. I get scared every time. It's like, oh, this is under 1,000.
And it's nearly 666.
Oh no,
Let's...
close.
Please take me to the first one, not every time it appears. Alright. This person cannot use magic items while at full health.
Oh,
So
well, I
perhaps
think you
Judge
can
Tech
take...
doesn't work. Does that sound good?
Yes,
Yeah.
that does sound good. I don't know how I'm going to give that to yet. We'll see who unfortunately creates a good circumstance in play for it, but
Oh boy.
it'll happen.
Something bad in the blood, friends. Alright, and
Oh,
with
yeah.
that, let's back to the refuge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fremont, you gotta say it to me one more time.
Okay. Oh, that's it. Well, apparently, what Shae had planned for you before you escaped happened to Dashford totally and utterly. His mind was broken, and he was sent to do what he did here. I think this was. You were correct, I think. Shae is toying with us. She wants us to be as alone, pushed up against the wall, with no other way to proceed other than the one that she wants. It's either her or Titan for us.
Are we speaking out loud verbally, or are we?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I make eye contact. I make all three eye contact with you,
Mhm.
and I want to. First off, I want to cast Mind Shield, which increases my mental defense by 10 for a turn, and then I want a telepathic message to Fremont. So I just start staring at you, as far as everybody else is concerned.
Oh, we're used to this. Like this is psychic. This is normal psychic stuff. It weirds out the rest of the judges whenever we do this. It's like,
Psychics do this. They just stare at each other all the time. It's the weirdest thing. We must assume that she can hear us right now. You understand?
Of
we must
course.
assume at this point that she is here in the room with us at all times. Period.
Yes, and that we are
That
all
said-
compromised. Yes.
Yes. And to that, I have shed my uniform. I am ready to surrender to her, to draw her out. Fremont, you have demonstrated that you are a more powerful side judge than I ever was. You speak with the dead. I have seen you use abilities that I do not have access to. I go right at her. I say, come on in. I open the door and let her walk in. You watch her do it, and you kill us both. What am I going to do? Sit here and drink coffee and eat shortbread cookies? Watch Murder, She Wrote? There's nothing left for me. I was born in a cloning vat, and I will return to the loam that spawned me, knowing that I defeated my opponent. Give me this.
I would if I was convinced that that would work. If she's able to do this, being in someone's mind, it's traumatic and dangerous to be in someone's mind, but it's not something that a powerful psychic will be killed with. It may only be your death, and your death will be for nothing. But the idea of surrendering is a good one. We'll at least be able to cut to the chase with what she wants. I'm through with being toyed around with, as I think you are.
The only thing I can think of is that we haven't done our research. We pull her file. I don't think we have access to, do we still have access to her records, if any exist? We find out her hobbies, her interests. What does she like? Does she like the Judge Judy show? Does she like shortbread cookies? Like, how do we draw her out other than to offer myself as an empty mind ready for her to do whatever she does?
Figure out why she is so fixated on the R&D department.
Virginia, in this moment, I imagine Waits has finished her loop of the block. She's like angry power march the whole way, pretty much around. And she's come back in and she pushes open the door. She says, someone at the halls of justice knew before we knew that we were going to kill them. This is a war between judges. And she goes over to the table and she sits down with a bowl of soup and a spoon in her hand, as if she's about to carve into raw steak or something. Just angry scoop of soup into the mouth, and then she pulls her face because she doesn't really like to eat. Generally more into blood. You're muted, Virginia.
As you are sitting here eating, and you're watching this strange staring contest that Fremont and Reinhold seem to be having, you feel a strange tingle in the back of your neck. And there's a voice. Don't panic now, Waits, don't worry. No need to tell the others that you can hear this. I really advise that you don't. You just want to get to the bottom of this, don't you? You just want to find where I am. You just want to stop me. And you want to not cause any more embarrassment to the halls of justice. Well, I can't promise you the second, but you should climb the stairs.
What if
Just
you're
keep
wrong?
climbing.
What if you're wrong, Shae? What if I think the halls of justice are wrong? What if I
That
think that's what you've been
depends.
trying to show us?
I think you should climb the stairs. I think Harris would thank you for it. Don't worry. Climb the stairs. She'll be fine.
And then out loud, she looks around the room. I'm gonna go and check on Jana. If they're turning on us, they'll go for her as well. And she back out the door, half finished bowl of soup.
And Judge Waits gets up, half finished with the bowl of soup, back out the door. Judy. It's maybe 10 minutes later. And you feel the same tingle in the back of your neck. Now, don't panic. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to shoot anybody. Make a terrible noise in that place that you're in. I'm sorry that you had to see such horrible things being said to your husband. My, that news report does not look good, does it? I wonder how it will look on him when it comes out that you really were part of this rogue band of judges. What an assignment to be sent on. Be sent here only to find out that really they don't care about you at all. No need to tell the others you're hearing this, though. I really wouldn't recommend it. Believe me, he's not safe either. Not from them, not from me. In fact, I've been thinking of paying him a little visit. Yes, maybe I'll invite him over. Maybe I could have the both of you. I think you should come upstairs and join us. Give it a few minutes. Make your way up the stairwell. Just keep going, you'll find me. It's what you want, isn't it? And the tingle is gone. You're muted, Susie. We still go. Oh no!
Oh no.
Hi, I'm Susanna Grace, and that was terrifying.
Oh no.
Apparently my ability to enact as Shae to make weird things happen has gone too far.
Not Bunny. No, leave Bunny out of this.
While we wait for Susie, what is Waits thinking about as she makes her way up these stairs?
I think Waits is really focused on thinking thoughts about what if Shae was showing them that there was corruption? What if this was all to prove that what we were doing here in the first place was setting up access for someone corrupt in the halls of justice within a bigger, nastier gang? And she's focusing on those thoughts just over and over. And she's focusing on, I really regret that Judge Callow got killed. Like, how did Grease fuck up that bad? How did we fuck up that bad? And she's thinking about all the people that have died here. And she's thinking about what if we could really free Freedom Falls. And she's just focusing on thinking about this loop. Very occasionally there's a glimpse of, I can't believe we were on that TV screen. I'm not a rogue judge. But then she'll circle back to Shae and thinking there's someone at the Halls of Justice that is in opposition and we're like in the middle of a war.
And you climb and you climb and you climb up these stairs, and there's no other voice but she's just said to climb, and that's what you do. Judy, that tingle has gone from the back of your neck maybe 5 or 10 minutes after Waits has left.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I would like to, if I can, use my narrative boon that I gained for being the best judge of the week, that 1 week. And I think Judy has a little body cam on her, like a little solo powered body cam at all times. And I'm just going to flick that on. Like they use it to get her POV on the TV show. And she's just never taken it off. So she just flicks that on and she's going to gear up. And she just says, announces to the room, I'm taking a walk. before she goes out.
You go out and do you climb the stairs as you were told?
Yes, but she is now on high alert.
You climb and you climb the stairwell that you were told to climb up. You don't see Waits. She said she was going for a walk. It's not unusual. I imagine Waits did this a lot back in the initiative days. And the voice in the back of your head. You really should hurry up. You don't want to miss tea. It's going to be a killer. And you hear a voice. It's odd. It's like it's in the background. If you were listening to a phone call, it would be that muffled sound in the background. But you swear you recognize it. You would know that voice anywhere. This leaves Fremont, Grace, Talon, and Reinhold alone in the refuge.
Yeah,
Grease, you've just witnessed.
Sorry.
You've just witnessed Fremont speak to the dead, burnt, crispy Judge Dashford. Currently, Karis is in the back room, in the bunk room, eating with Judge Tetley, who is back. And two of the judges have walked out and left, and you have seen the news report as it came on that declared you all rogue judges. And the clips of the firefight that happened in the arcade.
Oh my god. I'm on TV! And I got to see some cool necromancy. Oh my god. It's just like that one game of chimps and boardrooms. Oh god, so good. Oh man.
Grease, the next time you use your movie skill, you get a bonus D6 because you're on TV. That's what I've decided. You notice that
it's like
your Brando personality is getting way more attention than your Judge personality. That's who everyone is focusing on. And it seems that even though they have images of both on television, nobody's yet drawn the parallel that Grease is Brando.
wonderful. Exactly. They all no. Oh god. Okay.
What are
right.
the four of you doing?
I think maybe like me and Reinhold are still in there, and just we've been arguing about this point, and it just like we snap out. It's like if it comes to that, we'll do it until the last final. If we're desperate, we'll do it. Not until then. Sound good?
Either way, it's going to make great television, right, Judy?
Where's
Judy?
Judy?
Where the hell
Where'd
did
Judy go?
Judy and Waits go?
Oh, was I supposed to keep track of them?
No, Talon. What?
Where the hell did
We were having a conversation. What happened in the last? Where did they go?
I was in the back room with Karis and Tetley.
Oh Lord, Grease, did you see
giving
him?
them comments. Something odd happened though with Karis when she was straightening Tetley's collar. It was like she blanked out and saw something that upset her, but she can't remember it.
We need to talk. First of all, Judy,
She can't remember it. I've asked her. She tried again.
I'm gonna be on the comms. Like, Judy, wait, where the hell are you?
As this comes through, you hear the message from Fremont, and the voice in the back of your mind says, "Don't answer. They'll try to stop you." And you both hear different things after this. Wait, you hear, "Just think about Karis. She'll thank you. Trust me. She's very clever, that one. Very intuitive. Even more powerful than I was at her age. Just keep climbing. Don't worry. You'll be fine."
Shae,
And
I'm a
Judy.
better judge than you are. Just bear that in mind. And she calls in. She says, "I'm going up to the next floor. I'm going to check on Jana. There is unrest on the streets. We'll be in contact." And clicks off.
And you hear Shae again in the back of your mind. "Oh, I don't doubt that, Waits. You have more cunning than I ever hoped I could. But that's not what this is about. It's not about you. Not in the bigger picture, anyway. But Judy, the voice that you hear is, Don't answer that. I mean, you can take the call if you like, but why would you keep your husband waiting? He's been ever so patient. He'd like to see you after that horrible reporter earlier. It's not really his style, is it? Just to walk past and not say anything while somebody's bad-mouthing you on television?
And she thinks in the back of her head, like, you don't fucking know my husband. He'd sell me down the river if he wanted to. And she answers the call back to Fremont. And she says, just taking a walk. Who knows? Might throw myself off the fucking roof if I need to.
No, this is not the time to go out on your own. Get back down here.
No, I'll keep going, I think.
Ah, damn it. I'll just shut
And
up.
that's the communication you get back.
That's it. And Judy cuts off, keeps going.
I think they got
And
her.
you both keep climbing.
She's got both of them, I think.
There's a crash from the back room. The sound of a plate smashing. A dog yelping.
Talon's on her way back there. Just
Oh, no.
Talon, you rush back there. What's everyone else doing in this moment? As if perfectly
Tetley,
on
no!
cue.
sorry.
Do not apologize. That was perfect.
No, that was great. That was good. Oh my god.
This is a level of immersion that I wasn't ready for. It's like I can reach out and touch Judge Tetley.
Fremont, Reinhold, and Grease, what do you do when you hear this? There's plate smashing, a dog barking. You know that Karis is in the back room.
Just like look at Fremont and go, this is how it ends, you know. She splits us up, breaks us all into pieces, kills our minds.
So,
No, we can't let her.
well, what do we do? I mean, we could take those side blockers, but I feel like we gotta trick the trickster. So you guys are coming at it at a psychic angle. What if we came at it at a more physical angle? See, she fights with her mind. So let's hit her where it hurts. The body. We can find her physical location. I can go bust some knees and some teeth. I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty agile. I can zip through these streets pretty fast. So, you guys can, distract her a little bit. Give with one hand while I take with the other. I think we can take her down.
This is
Good
how
idea.
crazy the situation is Grease is starting to make 100% perfect
No,
sense.
that's a good point. If she's split up, she can't focus.
And I
Talon.
just thought of that.
As you make your way to the back room, you can see that Karis is looking down at the soup that you've made her that is now splashed across the floor. The plate is cracked. Tetley he looks like he's trying to hold back, the pure instinct to just lap up the soup. And she's standing there and she's like, I didn't mean to. I don't know what happened.
It's okay. No, just tell me what happened. How did the soup spill? It's no trouble.
And she looks at the open door. She's like, I don't want the other judges to hear because I don't want them to think I'm clumsy. Judge Waite says that judges, they have to be agile and fast with sharp reflexes. Please don't let them hear.
Talon's going to pull out a picture, an old picture of her that shows the scars, and says, "This is what I used to look like, because I worked with chemicals. Sometimes accidents happen. It's not your fault." It's
Could you just close the door so they don't hear? Please? She looks
Sure.
kind of nervous.
Absolutely. Close
And
the
you
door,
shut.
but I make sure that my mic is engaged on my comm.
You do that, and she looks at you. And she opens her mouth, but the voice that comes out is not hers. And she speaks almost in a whisper. Hello, Talon. This is strange. I can't remember what it was like to be this young. Don't worry. Your friends can't hear any of this. I'm not really here, you see. This is all happening in your head. Poor Karis must be so confused right now. Don't worry, she's safe. I don't want to hurt her. No, she'll be great someday.
Better
I
than you ever will
think-
be.
I
better
don't doubt
human,
it.
A better judge.
I don't doubt it. Oh, I was a
You're like a
wonderful
sh-
judge. What's not wonderful is the halls of justice and the way they treat their judges when they decide they're done with them. However, I would recommend that right now you take the very quick route by yourself upstairs to the medical center, because I think Jana is going to have a very hard time in 5-10 minutes. And even worse if anyone else follows you up there. Now that would be a shame. She is a lovely woman.
One thing, we're going to negotiate. I'll do what you say, but you leave her and her mother out of it for good. Last time you ever get inside her. If you don't, I'll let Jenna die. I don't care.
Okay.
You agree to my terms.
Oh, I'm not unreasonable, Talon, please. I was a judge once.
Oh, I'm thinking you're being very unreasonable lately.
I
think
don't know,
you've
nobody's
gone-
dead yet. Well, none of
Oh,
you
really?
anyway.
So what do you call the people upstairs in the arcade? They're dead because of you, aren't they? Good judges.
Oh, no,
Judges you didn't
no.
deserve.
You shot them. They were just doing their job. And you see how the Hall of Justice doesn't
But you
care.
caused this. This is all you. You manipulated all of this, didn't you?
Perhaps. Maybe I did.
Yes, that's right. Perhaps. Yes, you did. Yeah.
Perhaps
So
they
you're
started
responsible
it
for
when they
their death.
abandoned me. Who knows? But right now, this is my game, and as Greece would say, my show. So I would go check on Jana. Quickly now. She's running out of air.
You swear. You swear the little girl stays out of this. And
There's
her
no
mother.
response.
Swear.
But by the time you blink again, and Karis just kind of looks at you and says, I didn't mean to spill the soup. I'm sorry. I'm really
It's okay,
tired.
darling. It's okay.
I'm gonna
Yep,
go to.
you
I'm gonna
curl
go
up
have a
in your lap
nap.
and take a nap. Yep. Tetley, stay with Karis. You're on duty.
And the last thing you hear
uh,
is, I wonder how long that oxygen tank will last.
Talon closes the door, locks it, and her mic is still open on her comm, and you can hear her leaving. You hear the sound of boots running, the door opening and closing, and her going upstairs.
Fremont, Reinhold, and Grease, you are left. As Talon makes her way out without any explanation.
Or Judge
Okay,
Grease.
bye. I guess.
All right, well, do what you're going to do, Grease. Take those blockers. We have some judges to retrieve.
Do I have to take the blockers? Is there some other, holistic way of blocking out sidekicks?
Nope. I love this plan. I can't believe you've got a plan that I'm this on board with. You're the bullet, we're the gun. This is going to be great. Take the blockers. All we got to do is get a 20 on Shae, and we point you right at her. Is that the plan? I have a mild headache.
Yes. Or at least pinpoint
Okay.
her. Because we don't know where she is. She's upstairs? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe she's going to have them just fling themselves off the top of the tower. Who knows? We have to stop them. We have to find them. And if we find them, that might be enough of a distraction to let Grease do whatever he's doing.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a blast.
Grease, as Fremont and Reinhold are saying this, you get a tingle in the back of your neck. And the voice comes through. Shh, 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 shh. Grease, I recommend you don't tell anyone
It's
that you can hear me
A
right
house
now.
in New Orleans. They quarterize. And he just starts
Yeah.
singing in his head.
She
as soon as he
continues to
starts with the
talk.
voice.
You once pointed out that perhaps judges are not quite what they seem to be. That perhaps the Hall of Justice isn't quite so just, so lawful after all.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to make me turn? You a chimp?
No. I'm not. I wish I was. I'd have been much more agile. But no. I'm trying to appeal to the side of you that, despite the fact you shot Caro, made some
I
sense.
do it again.
I'm sure you would. But you saw the other side of what the Hall of Justice can be like. They didn't believe in you either, did they? That's how you ended up here. No, they left me to rot. The man that you killed when the anti-militia took me. Do you think the Hall of Justice mounted a rescue operation? No. They didn't even know if I was dead. And they decided that I was expendable enough they didn't have to come and find me. And then the years that followed were not much fun until I got myself free. Why do you think I helped you get rid of that scum? But instead, here you are, trying to fight for the Hall of Justice's image when they have done nothing. Think of what I could do to help you, Grease. I'm not asking you to hurt anybody. I'm simply asking for you to come and join me. Come and see me. Perhaps I'm not what you think or what they think.
Tell you what. You tell me where you are, and we'll meet.
Oh, I've heard your plans. I can see into Reinhold's mind like, well, opening the window.
Then you obviously know that I don't like Reinhold. See what I'm hoping, right? Is I come over to you, make them think that I'm gonna hurt you. Then you get into their mind, and you shatter them, and you turn them into my thralls, and I do your bidding.
I don't want anyone to do my bidding. I want somebody to join me in showing people that the halls of justice are not quite as just as they seem, and that they will abandon anybody and anything if it suits them. That's not justice. It wasn't justice for me to live in a cell for years.
Oh, so
Being
you're not
used
like
for my abilities.
So you're not really into, causing anarchy and mayhem. You're just whinging.
Oh no, I just want to cause the right kind of anarchy and mayhem, Grease.
No, you're just whinging. You're just sitting here. Oh no, they done put me in a cell. Dang nabbit. Come on, take to the streets, man.
Oh, I plan.
You want to fight the power? Fine. Just don't do it in a physical way. Don't do it. Don't take this psychic route.
Grease,
You're
are
a
you trying to
coward.
deceive her?
No, he's really laying into her. Just say you're a coward.
When you mentioned before, and you were saying that you would go up and you would trick the other judges, were you trying to deceive her?
Oh, yes, I was.
Go ahead and make me a roll for deception. So it's going to be charisma plus if you've got a skill in deception.
Yes.
Virginia, can I also make a deception roll for Waits's inner monologue right now?
Yes.
Cool. Can I use
Oh
bluff?
my.
You can. So Charlie, you're looking to go against a 22. Greece, you're looking to go against a 27.
Ugh.
And I want to say thank you to Sly Mother who donates a crit to Reinhold. Thank you so much, friend.
All my sheets. There we go. Okay,
That
so
number.
I got charisma.
Plus,
And you know what?
relevant skill.
I'm going to say movies.
Okay,
Because this
like
is-
always, as is the tradition, you've got to tell me what movie this is from.
Okay. Oh, there's so many movies with this triple cross. Take your pick of your favorite movie with the epic triple cross, and there you go.
Okay.
Can I use luck as it's a new session, or no because it's the same day?
It's the same day. But if you've still got luck left, you can use luck.
I used the last session. And no one is near me that I can share a luck pool with, unfortunately.
It's 4. Roll. Oh, that's a 9.
9. Okay.
Oh no.
You start calling her out a coward. She's like, trying to lie to me won't work when I'm in your head, Grease. I intend to do more than sit here and whine. But my battles are best fought subversively. My battles involve the people. My battles involve showing this block that judges will never really help them in the end. They need to help themselves. So, would you like to come and join me? Maybe see if I'm not the big, bad monster that everyone thinks I am. Go ahead, just don't say anything to anyone. Pick a staircase, climb, I'll meet you at the top.
You know, when I was a little chimp, I walked in on my ma, and there's big old gorilla just going at it. Like Animal Planet, just, oh my gosh. I hope you enjoy this image, because I'm going to relive that experience, and since you're in my head, you're going to love it too. And he just remembers that. And if she's in his head, that's all she hears is just a chimp and a gorilla going on.
Charlie's face.
Why am I also getting this psychic attack? This is bad touch, and I do not consent.
And this is how encounter roleplay collapsed.
Grease, you relive this memory, painful as it may be. And when it is finished, Shae just cuts. I really thought you had promise. That's a shame. It's a real shame, Grease. I was hoping I wouldn't have to make a fool of you like the rest of them, but... And you could have had your chance to come up and see the place. It's lovely. Grease, what's your mental defense?
Oh,
Oh.
no, because I'm a chimp. Let's see. I think there's a specific one that I have because I'm a chimp that weak-willed. I suffer -2
Oh.
penalty.
Oh no.
What
And
is
my
your
mental
mental?
is 10.
It's 10. Beats you by 1. You get this, as the tingling in the back of the neck fades, you get this horrible, you know when you get pins and needles and it kind of explodes outwards? It's like that, but painful. And you take 7 points of damage that completely bypasses your soak.
Okay.
as you feel this horrible pain up the back of your neck across the top of your head.
He winces. I said, well, I hope you like more of that. Because here we go. If this is how I gotta fight you, I will. Relive every horrible memory that I have. And he starts reliving a memory where he was beaten up by some mutants because he was a chimp.
Midway through this memory, you realize that the presence in your mind left when that pain left, and you have been sitting here reliving this painful memory.
Oh, I know that hurt. They called me a chimp.
You all right
me
there,
a chump.
Grease?
No, I'm not.
Is he crying? Is he actually
No,
crying?
I'm not. You're crying. Shut up.
Oh, you are
Triclops.
crying.
No,
Oh, is that just
not.
water leaking on the side of your eyes? Grease?
It's water.
I think those
There's
are
a
tears.
leak in here. Somebody needs to fix the plumbing.
Human after all, huh, Grace?
Whoa.
Big baby.
So what brought about this little mental breakdown, Grease?
Oh, what's her nuts? Decided to slip in. She's trying to turn me, but you know, you guys are my friends. I told her to go fuck herself.
Yes, that's
You
all.
know,
it
you know
took.
how I do.
Yeah, that'll work.
I also shared some experiences with her. You know, if she's gonna be in my head, she's gonna feel all the mental pain that I have. I liked
And
Barry,
it-
but I didn't need to see him on top of my mouth.
well, apparently it must have been awful because, oh, your face right now. Oh, you must have had a tough childhood, Grease. Reinhold,
That's why I like movies.
I'm starting to feel left out. Reinhold, have you been contacted by Shae as well, or just leaving us alone?
No, she's saving me for last. She'll have me
Oh,
for dessert.
Fremont. There's a
Oh,
tingle in the
finally.
back of your neck. Well, Grease already dropped the ball in my little private conversations, which, quite frankly, I
Oh,
think
that
is
must-
quite distasteful. But I suppose not everybody can be held to the same standards of manners as your other friends. They are quite clever. No.
Yes, and I am very impressed by these little games that you are playing.
Thank
But-
you. I'm very impressed by your abilities. I'll be honest.
Yes. And what are you doing staying in Freedom Falls? Controlling a
just-
bunch of mundanes.
She almost skips past it, you can tell in her voice, and she says, I want to put you in a hypothetical situation, Fremont. Now, I promise
Yes.
you I won't cause you any harm, but I need to let you experience some things. And not that you can really stop me because I'm already in your head, but,
Oh,
well, why don't I just show you, and then you can
Oh,
tell
I'm-
me how you would feel at the end of it all. Shall we? Good.
I want some answers, so go ahead.
You start getting flashes of images, just like you did with Dashford, but these are stronger. It's almost
Mhm.
like you're there. It's like the equivalent of playing VR, but even more real. And you're in the refuge, and it looks a lot nicer than it does now. It's done up. The paint isn't peeling on the walls, and it doesn't have, bullet holes and marks in some of the furniture. And you see, you pass what looks to be at one point like one of the screens. It's not here anymore in your present refuge, and you catch the reflection of Shae. You're looking at this from her perspective. She adjusts something on her vest. She goes out, leaving the refuge, and she's talking to a man who you can only assume that you know by name as Judge Caro. It skips forward a bit as suddenly they're pinned down in a gunfight. It's very obvious where this is. They're in the arcade. It looks like in the nightclub portion towards the back that you might have heard about. And then you feel the pain as something comes up behind you and cracks you across the back of the head. There's dizziness, feeling around. She doesn't drop the lawgiver, though, which is impressive. And you see her spin, fire off some shots before the vision goes to black. And when she wakes up, she is in a grey room. It looks like she is cuffed to something. You can't really tell. She can't see from her viewpoint, but you get the distinct feeling that your hands are bound behind your back. And then again, like with Dashford, it's like a train going off the rails. And it's different from Dashford, where that was just a series of images. This is a series of these flashing images that come with a crash of emotion. Fear, panic, calm, resolution. Someone will be coming. They've got to come. I'm missing. I haven't checked in. Where are they? And you get a sense of time passing. Days, weeks, months, years. And the fear turns to nothingness, an emptiness, a brokenness, which then turns to rage, to more fear, to bitterness. And then you are flashed to an image of her sat in another grey room, not the same grey room, thinner, bruised, crying, screaming, drained. You know what it feels like to be psychically drained, and you've never felt or seen a well so empty. The only analogy you can think of is the well is drained and then somebody just kept digging and digging, and it's a bottomless pit of empty nothingness psychically. And still, someone must be coming. Still, she finds a radio. She makes contact. She is told that the name that she gives is wrong. Judge Shae is dead. It says so in her file, and the Hall of Justice will be in contact for making such a nuisance call. There is anger. So much anger, hotter than the fire that burned Dashford. And it's difficult. It's just like a constant wave of emotion, and I need you to make me a will test, please.
A will test?
Mm-hmm.
To do anything?
If you have got anything that would help you deal with emotion,
Mm-hmm.
or would deal like dealing with keeping yourself separate from other entities, so concentration or anything along those lines.
Can I use meditation with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is learning to kind of focus on a particular thing and keep yourself present in a moment.
Yeah, this is like a bad read. So, okay, so 5d6.
This is the kind of thing that as a side judge, they try to train you to be able to block out, to view things, but not to feel them.
Yeah. 15.
You can feel yourself slipping into this well. You can feel, not only do you feel these emotions, but they begin to overtake you. They begin to become your emotions just for those few seconds until you manage to push them out and separate yourself again. You from this image. And then you blink and you're back standing in the refuge just as you were. And you know that a second or two has passed in what felt like hours. How would you feel after that, Fremont? Being drained of your psychic abilities for the use of somebody else. And then finding out
to rip them apart. Feel what I feel.
And
oh,
how
I
would
know
you
what that
feel?
feeling feels like.
Not just the people that try to drain my abilities for their use. They are long gone now. Thanks to all of you. But But how would you feel about the people that you swore to serve, only to find out that they were happy to write you off as dead?
Oh, I know all about that, Shae. You're not the only one to be left, to be forgotten, and to be hunted.
Don't you think it's time that people see what an embarrassment the halls of justice are to the word justice?
And why have you not gone after them? Then?
Why
Why
target
have
them
you not?
directly like that? They can just clone more soldiers. No. No. What's more important is that this city sees what they are. This city sees and loses faith because they don't deserve it.
And you sit here lashing out. What you do here isn't going to matter.
You say that, but I feel like the wonderful events of this morning, as unfortunate as they were, well, the city's looking at those. The city's wondering how the Department of Justice is going to deal with this. How they can even have more judges who are corrupt. How many corrupt judges did you find, Fremont?
Oh, many, and I dealt with them. From one judge, double-cross judge, to another. You are a coward. You sit here and you hide. You do not go after them. I thought that maybe you had a plan, and I am disappointed in you. That's all it was, then. Petty revenge. That's pathetic. And you can't even deal with them with all your power.
No, not with all of mine. Not by myself. Why don't you come upstairs and see me, Fremont? Find a stairwell, keep walking, I'll meet you at the top.
Gladly.
Alone.
I am done playing games with you. I think you're sending everybody up top. Why?
No reason. I like up top.
Right.
The air's cleaner, and it doesn't feel like a prison cell. See you soon.
Gladly.
And again, you know that it feels like hours, but seconds have passed. The conversation you were having has barely just finished.
We're dealing with a wild animal.
Hey.
It's not
And
meant
she
as a shot
wants
at you
us.
specifically.
Oh.
There's no plan, there's nothing. She is just lashing out.
Yeah, she's whinging. I already told her that. She's being a big old baby because she always walked in a cage. My ancestors were locked in cages while you skin bags sat there and laughed.
She wants us to all go upstairs.
Hey.
And I don't know about you, trap or not. I am tired with being played around with. If I'm gonna meet my end, I want to at least face her.
There you go. It's a full court press. We go right at her.
And we will take her.
Is that where you think she's sending the rest of them? Talon and Judy and Waits?
They all set up.
You know Talon is headed to medical. You know Talon is going up just one flight to medical because that's what she heard over the comm.
Okay.
Oh,
She
that's
told
Pick up
me she heard
Talon.
that.
okay. But see, we're going the other way around. You're going to go walk right into the maw of this. I'm going to go up to medical. It was supposed to be me, Fremont. It's supposed to be me standing in front of the train. You're the
I will both
stronger of the two.
I will bolster you, so she has done things to you. And I think it's just fair that you get some payback. So I will help you in doing this.
Appreciate that. No, I want to see her mind smashed on the ground like a watermelon, but if one person does it alone, see, hold on, my phone's ringing.
Hello, old friend.
I would like to interrupt this phone call so that we pay our 20 retweets. So it is a Wild Magic Surf time.
Oh no.
Oh, what wonderful timing. Go ahead and roll that. I'm looking forward to this. What could possibly go wrong?
Travis, if you could roll a 1d10,000, please.
Sorry, I was on the phone. What do you want me to do? 1d10,000?
Yes,
All right, you have
please.
to teach me how to use fantasy grounds. That's slash roll.
Slash die. Space.
Slash die.
Die is in death to our enemies. Space. 1d10,000.
God, what did I do? You gotta tell me how to do that again. Slash die. Let's all learn how to use fantasy grounds, folks.
Space.
1d10,000.
1d10,000.
Won't do it, Charlie. What am I supposed to...
I
Would you
could, Virginia, would you like to roll it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantasy
Okay,
grounds.
enough
hates me.
zeros.
I love fantasy grounds, but it's mad at me. There you go.
6,189, Charlie.
6, 1, 8, 9. Here we go. We are cooking with fire, and it is target is shoved to the ground in each of the next 1d10 rounds. Whoop,
Oh,
there goes
no.
gravity.
Oh, psychic reprisal. Oh no.
Right,
That is like the 6th Eminem reference from you today, Charlie. What is going on?
Is that why I don't get it?
With the real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Slim what? Sorry, go ahead.
Reinhold, as you hear the hello and you make the remark, you feel yourself thrown to the floor. And it hurts. Slammed down. Hello, old friend. That's alright, I'll let you get up in a minute, but I thought it'd be good for you to experience again what it was like the last time we met. You were such fun. So very powerful. Thank you, by the way, for helping me finally put to rest the demon that had plagued me the last few years. Oh, you saw that man at the end of the corridor and you chased him. And then you got rid of him. It's wonderful to watch through your eyes. Well, don't worry, I didn't do anything while I was there. You didn't even know. How are you doing? You disappeared for a while. Stopped using your psychic abilities. Shame, shame.
It was taco night. Jeopardy was on. I was very comfortable.
Would you like to go back to Taco Night and Jeopardy, Reinhold?
No.
You
No.
sure?
So you've got it backwards. You're the demon. Okay? And you know
Well, you could just walk away, and I will leave you well alone. You will never hear from me again. You can go back to Jeopardy and Taco Night and that quite stylish terry cloth bathrobe.
it's very comfortable.
I won't even ask you to betray your friends.
I'm just I appreciate that you have once again walked in the back door of my mind. I appreciate that you've thrown me to the ground. I appreciate that you've made me done murder. And while I would like to go back to watching game shows quietly in the common room, I want you to hear me. One of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to kill you, or we could go to lunch. Because it seems to me that we are both disgraced judges who have let our abilities get the better of us, and as much as it pains me to admit it, we have an awful lot in common. And so I could go either way at this point, because I don't see a future for myself in either law enforcement or couch potatoing professionally and eating Jell-O. And so I'm either going to find you and turn your brains inside out, or we could have mimosas. You see, we could choose life. Do you understand? We could choose joy. Do you understand me? We could walk into the sunset together. But you've got to stop hurting people, Shae. You're not going to get what you want by just hurting people en masse. So just take me wherever we need to go. I'll go with you. We can go to brunch, or we can go straight to hell. It's up to you. It's always been up to you. And everyone acknowledges that. If you want everyone to tap dance, they'll tap dance. You've won.
Oh, I don't think they do. You're the only one that really realizes that, Reinhold.
Oh,
You
no,
were the
that's
only
true.
one that figured out. Well, you do know how to find me. You've always known how to find me.
Have I?
You found me the last time. Did you ever think of just walking up the stairs? You don't remember how you got to me, but somewhere in the back of your mind, the memory's there. You could have come any time you liked. You've been where I am. You've never needed to search me out and uncover where I am. You've always known. You just keep walking up. You'll find your way here. You did before. As I recall, I never forced you to come and find me. Not really. A thought never occurred to you, did it, Reinhold? That you might just be able to walk in.
It had not occurred to me that you would make it that easy for me. No.
Well,
How do you like your coffee? How do you take it?
I can't remember the last time I drank coffee. Black, probably.
That's my
Maybe
girl.
sugar.
All right, so
Come up and see
okay.
me and come by yourself. I don't think your friends are quite on the same wavelength as you.
No. As far as I'm concerned, you and I have a very special relationship, and the ball is very much in your court.
Are you trying to deceive her,
acknowledge.
Reinhold?
I mean, no, not as such. No, I mean the guy, you know, his bloodlust was, you know, after he murdered 2 judges, and then he got into his robe and had a cup of coffee and gave it some thought and talked to the judge who, you know, when somebody is more angry than you, that you can kind of displace it. You know, like he sees how pissed Fremont is. He sees Fremont walk away. You know, he's known for some days, weeks, months, a year that she's going to win, and has surrendered mentally, you know, for some time ago. And so, no, I'm trying to level with her. I don't think there's any deception. I'm going to go bring her some coffee, for Christ's sake, you know, and try and get her to stop killing people.
I'll see you in a few minutes then, Reinhold.
You got
Don't
it.
forget the coffee.
You got it. Can I get up?
You are kind of thrown up. It almost reminds you of someone like when they kind of pull you up from the floor, but you kind of get pushed forward instead, nearly running into one of the consoles.
So I'm like smashed against the console. Or
Kind of, not
am
too
I,
hard.
Am I free to stand up and
Yeah.
put myself together?
Yeah.
Pops the collar of his robe and like grabs a radio, you know, and sticks it in the pocket and clips it to his jacket. Like, Talon, you copy?
Yeah. What's up?
are you in medical?
Yeah. I'm assuming she's
Well,
reached
consider-
medical by this point.
Yeah.
Consider this the last will and testament of former Judge Reinhold.
Hang on.
I leave my
And she hits
collection
record.
of scripts of Murder She Wrote that I bought off eBay to Judge Judy. I leave my terry cloth bathrobe that I had monogrammed and spent too much money on to Judge Fremont. I donate my organs to anybody, specifically Judge Waits. Has power of medical attorney over my corpse. Just let it be known that I'm going right upstairs. I'm going to walk right towards her, and I'm bringing her some coffee. And I don't expect to return.
Soup. There's soup on the stove. You can take that up to her, too.
I'm going to go have brunch with the devil, and I'm not coming back. And I hang up.
Copy.
Okay, so I believe that leaves us with the only judge still in here as Reinhold collects his stuff and leaves as Judge Grease. Am I correct? Because Fremont, you went upstairs, right?
Yes.
Okay. I see how it is. Everybody's having a deep conversation with the psychic lady. And now I'm all alone. This is just my childhood all over again.
How is Janet, by the way?
Penny. What? God? God, is that you?
No, it's me, Margaret.
Oh. Margaret. Ah. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm up in medical. Are you whining again?
I'm
I
not
could use your help
whining.
up here.
You know what? I'd love to
What?
give you some help. But I just saw Reinhold leave. I'm going to go mess with him.
Could you not until I get back down there? I'd really rather not leave Karis and her mother alone.
Who's Karis?
Little girl.
Oh. Well, you could just leave her alone.
Oh,
She's like how old? She's like 10. I was taking care of myself when I was 10.
She's
Come
like,
on,
Yeah, but
she.
you mature
level 6.
faster.
Okay. Look. I'm gonna be the monkey tail on Reinhold.
I thought for a
'Cause-
moment you were going to say you were going to be adult about this, but
No, I'm not gonna be an adult. I'm a chimp. And
Okay.
chimps gotta do what a chimp's gotta do. And a chimp is gonna go kill a psychic.
all right, I'll be back down in a minute.
Okay. Judge waits. You keep climbing the stairs. You don't know how long you've been climbing. Mega blocks can have hundreds of floors. You start getting tired. And it's that kind of exhaustion where things just ache because you just haven't stopped. And it's the kind of exhaustion that just makes you want to shut your eyes for a second and center yourself. And when you open them, you can hear birds. The walls are grey. You're no longer in a stairwell. There's a sense of time having passed, but you're not sure how long. It's definitely time has passed. The air, it smells cleaner, fresher. There's grass that lines the floor.
Where did you take me, Shae?
Oh, don't worry, you're still in Freedom Falls. The voice echoes from somewhere, but you can't see a source. No. I think there are some things that you probably need to deal with. Wait.
What?
Now you have a choice. You can keep your career, or you can keep your life and maybe help that poor girl downstairs that everybody else has left defenseless, by the way. Judy has wandered off. Talon has wandered off. Reinhold is apparently bringing me coffee. And Fremont has also gone, and Grease didn't stick around to look after the little brat.
You pulled them away, Shae.
Yes.
Why?
I didn't force them to, though. In fact, Reinhold seemed very eager to come and bring me coffee. That, or apparently violently kill
Reinhold
me.
is very food orientated.
I've noticed. I've been in his head. But nobody else thought about Karis. What would happen if they left her alone? People are not happy with you in this block either, and the refuge is completely undefended.
It's
So
just
I
a
offer
building, Shae.
I offer you a choice, Judge Waits. Your career. Or your life. Choosing one will destroy the other, but prices have to be paid. I have plans in motion. I want everyone to see what being a judge does to a person eventually. Show this city that the halls of justice are not so just, in my own special way.
By creating injustice. It's a large
Your
pantomime
career.
you're weaving, Shae.
Oh, I try
Well,
my best.
puppets.
Yes, and all of you are puppets in this play too, unfortunately. But
So
at
why
least I
not
give you
tell
some
us
kind of choice.
Who is the corruptor?
Whichever bastard left me to die in this place.
You haven't figured that out yet. You need to go back to the handbook, Shae. There's a whole chapter on investigation.
No one. Everyone was just happy to accept I was dead. They didn't even look into it properly. No, they're all guilty. And everyone needs to see what they really are. So I offer you the last choice before I go and pay Karis a visit myself. Your career, Judge Waits, or your life.
Which audience do you want to care about you? You say everyone is guilty. Everyone needs to know. Who's watching the Watchmen, Shae?
Indeed, Judge Waits. Who is watching the Watchmen?
Who's
I
at the
just-
end of your tantrum, Shae?
Oh, I don't know. Who are normally at the end of yours, Judge Waits? That poor woman in the stairwell that you nearly ripped to pieces once. How about the poor criminal that you very unlawfully drank the blood of your first time on the block? You are not quite as clean-cut and innocent as you think you are. I think you have some personal demons that you perhaps have to deal with where you see the clarity of the situation. Why don't you deal with them? And the voice disappears. You catch a glimpse out the corner of your eye of a woman with dark brown hair and blonde hips just flicker past, but she's gone before you can focus. And as you turn back, Judge Waits, standing in front of you is you.
Waits just very slowly closes her eyes. And she thinks about the rest of her team and about Karis. And she remembers what Grease said he did. And she begins to hum a song that she once heard Grease sing. And then she begins to remember the lyrics. You walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. Your head strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarf was apricot. And she just continues down the You're So vein, and it begins to come out of her mouth until she's basically screaming the words over the sound of the birds, trying to just focus on Grease, who is possibly the most irritating force she has ever met in her entire life, the most powerful, chaotic agent of darkness she has ever waged war against, and currently her Lord and Savior in this moment. And quietly she thinks to herself, frosted tips, so 90s.
You do this, and you try and focus and concentrate. And Judy, you have the same. You're walking. Pardon me. You're walking up the stairwell, and it's tiring. And you take that moment to kind of rest. You shut your eyes and you open them again. You're standing in a very familiar room. Birds, grass, cool air. Somewhere in the distance, You're So vain sounds like it's being sung or maybe shouted over the top of something. Well, you were certainly easier to get up here than I thought. And the image of Shae is sat on this kind of almost like crate off to the side of you.
I'm tired, Shae. I'm tired of your games. Just get it over with. Just do whatever it is you want to do.
You are unexpected. I didn't expect you to be here. When I was trying to pull people into this, I didn't expect that your name would drop on the list of people who'd be recommended for this kind of initiative in the future. But there you were, and so I pulled you in with weights. It's a good thing. You have drawn a lot of publicity to that wonderful news article. Oh, I hate to tell you, but Kane isn't here.
You don't say.
No, I have a choice for you, Judy. I hardly think it's fair that they left me for dead. I hardly think it's fair to the hundreds of other judges they have done that to, most likely. Corrupt, unjust, and unable to protect the people that they employ to protect the people. So, you can carry on your career as a judge, day in, day out. Not really ever making a difference in this godforsaken city while you keep up the guise that they are just. Or you can help me show the people of this city that the halls of justice are not as just as they believe. That they don't have to fear judges because they might knock on some door because they're selling tobacco, but they should fear the judges because they could come knocking on the door even if they don't.
I mean, that's real cute and everything, Shae. And you're really gonna have to get over this "they left me behind" shit. As you said, it's happened to tons of us. Happened to me. I got over it. But there's one thing you did, Shae, is much like you didn't expect me to be on that list. You underestimated me. And I'll tell you one thing, Shae. I am the one who knocks. So go ahead.
I think you should find somewhere comfortable for yourself to sit because you're really going to enjoy this one. I would hazard that this is going to be just as popular as any of your shows. And she has this wicked smile Like, it's the kind of smile that, no matter how tough you are, kind of makes your skin
Mhm.
crawl. And then you blink, and you can no longer see her or the room. It's like having a film placed over your eyes. What you're looking at is Judge Waits. And Judge Waits, there's two of them. One of them loudly singing, shouting.
Clouds in my coffee, 'cause you're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. Shae so vain.
This is what you hear as you see a Waits with her eyes shut and another Waits there.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this other Waits reach for something. And with this strange camera angle that you have of this, you see the lawgiver. You see it drawn. You see the ammunition being adjusted. You see an aim taking place as the other Waits fires at the Waits that is singing. You get the distinct feeling one of these isn't quite Waits, but you're not sure which one. But you can have a guess as this plays out before your eyes, and there is a gunshot. Judge Talon, you made your way up to the medical center. You get there.
Yep.
You see no sign of Jana.
She turns right around and runs right back downstairs.
As you turn around, you get to the doors. And you find yourself unable to step through them because they are locked.
She's going to she knows now about the mind games. Everybody else has had experiences with them. She's heard about them. She doesn't believe this is real. And she just pulls out a cigarette and just pushes through the doors.
Make me a will test. And if you have perception, if you have concentration, go ahead and roll that.
Perception. Okay, so that's going to be a total of 5. Oh, that's a 13.
You think to yourself that this isn't real. You take a step towards the door and you push past. And you're out the other side. But then you look down. Broken glass everywhere. Blood. Your blood. There's a stinging pain. As you clench your face up for that moment as it hits, when you open your eyes, you're standing in a room. There's birdsong and grey walls and no broken glass in sight. You are much more difficult to get than the others, you know that? You saw through the doors.
Oh.
Clever. Takes a lot, though, to try and simply ignore what I put in place. Congratulations,
You have no
though.
idea the bullshit I've put up with.
I've seen some of it. No, what you did here was wonderful. If anything, you are the judge that I least want to do any of this to.
Great, because I've really got to go. So if you could just, speed up the monologue, maybe hit fast forward, skip the boring parts, because I really do have shit to do. And she's going to reach into her jacket, pull out a cigarette, light it up, and can we go? Are we done?
I mean, you could, but there is just a problem, you see. Your
Isn't there
medic.
always? Mhm.
Your medic. Jana, her name is. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when I got out
was
and
your
I
medic
went to
too.
her. Yes.
Mhm.
I remember when I went to her. I didn't quite look like this, but I did. And she couldn't help me. And I don't blame her for that. No, there are limitations in what a rundown medical center can do, but she tried harder.
And your point is you blame everybody but yourself. So what?
She could have tried harder. But also, you're
You could
very
have
good
tried harder.
friends. Well, perhaps I could have done. But I'm in control here, so I get to decide what I should and shouldn't do. But also, you have a friend. Grease. Yes, he shot Caro.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
You think that's right? You knew he was a judge that was
think he was
declared
undercover.
dead.
I think he was
Undercover.
undercover and didn't know who it was. There was no proof. There was nothing that indicated who that person was. He was undercover. Yeah, we've all done shit. You've done shit. So what's your point?
Do you consider your friends equal, Talon? Or do you prefer some over the other? Be honest, because I can go inside your mind and find out. It's just more fun if you tell me.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the only one I really give a damn about is Horatio, and I don't think he's here. So if you want to go track him down and fuck with his brain, you're welcome to do that. I can tell you it's really interesting inside there. But seriously,
Oh no,
I
one
do have
monkey is
shit
enough
to
for
do.
me.
My soup is going to burn.
You're right, you do have shit to do. So I'm going to leave you with the question. Jana
Okay.
or Grease?
Do what you want.
And
Are we done?
you see at the other end of this room, as she steps out of the field of vision, there is what looks to be another closed off area. There are two windows. And in one, you can just make out the form of Jana banging against the glass. And in the other, the form Grease doing the same. Shae walks off out of the field of vision, says, "There is only so much oxygen left. Choose one."
Now, here's the thing. You've already done the whole locked door thing, so I'm not going to accept anything that you show me is real. So, kind of like this place, because I'm pretty sure you can't teleport me. So I'm still standing outside the medical unit, which means that you're showing me made up shit in my head because you think it's funny and I'm getting bored. And I really do have to go before my soup burns.
She disappears off out of vision. And this is where you're left for the moment, Talon. As you smoke your cigarette and you watch the figures off in the distance. Judge Fremont. You climb the stairs too, and before you know it, you're standing in a corridor. It looks like it never ends. It just goes on and on and on. And then there's a hand on your shoulder. I am so glad we finally get to meet. You found your way up here. You did it better than Reinhold did his first time, I'll give you that.
Good, then what now?
What now? Oh, Judge Fremont, why did you think I would bring you up here?
Watch me go up and down? Be at your whims?
I mean, if I wanted to do that, I could try and take over your mind, but quite frankly, that's boring. No. I want to use your power. You have quite a lot of it.
To do what, exactly?
To place more puppets in play.
And you're still going to walk around and not deal with the actual problem, just complain
This is
about
what
the
you all keep telling
injustice.
me. And I should go deal with this problem. But Judge Fremont, why should I use physical force when I can do it with my mind? With other people's minds? No. Why don't you help if you're so desperate that I should do something? I should really do something. Help me do something.
Just say who failed the Hall of Justice, and we'll deal with them.
Who failed? The people that sent me here. The people that never bothered looking. The people that never questioned. The people, when I tried to tell them I was alive, didn't believe me because it had been so long. I want people to know. I want people to see how many corrupt judges, Fremont, do you arrest and take down and ship off world? How many of them does anyone actually know about? The people of the city even realize how corrupt the Hall of Justice is. No. I intend to make a spectacle of it. Are you going to help me?
And then what?
And then, once the chaos is suitably sown, and perhaps people wake up a little bit, well, perhaps I'll just fade into the shadows and I can live a happy life knowing that the Hall of Justice has brought about its own ruin to itself.
I'm afraid not. You may be powerful. That's true. I can't touch you. I can't even come close to what apparently you are, but you have not impressed me with what you've wanted to do. And I'm pretty sure you've been having these conversations with my fellow judges, correct? I'm the only one.
Perhaps. Some of them have
And-
caved already.
Oh. I find that hard to believe. But I know you've been whispering everyone's minds simultaneously. That's impressive. But it's a lot of work. And that sort of thing leaves a lot of trails, whether you like it or not. And thank you for contacting me again. I'm going to use my what was it called? The
Are you about to 1471, huh?
I'm going to try and I'm going to use my player benefit thing that I got from Judge of the Week. I am going to try and pinpoint where she is. She's left a lot of streams talking to everybody. I'm going to try and find out where she is.
Okay. You try and focus this because now she is physically here, but you know she's not quite. This is a manifestation of her. And I imagine that, you do something like you take her hand off your shoulder with your kind of no thanks. And as you do, you try to feel that psychic energy back to its roots. Now there's a physical thing that you can feel. And you feel yourself shoot forward. And it's somewhere here. You suddenly can place yourself. You're somewhere on the upper floors of this mega block. This corridor you're in is between other rooms where you can feel she's stretched out. It's like tendrils just coming from somewhere. And you start to get a sense that if you can just get to the end of this corridor, this never-ending corridor, somehow you'll be closer to the source of those tendrils.
There you are. Despite everything, that you're just still a mind and a body. Not a god.
And
Nothing
you see
close.
the physical form of her step back. There's a nervous laugh. No. No.
Because I can see you. Powerful, but
Get
sloppy.
out. Get out. Get out. And she just starts
Oh.
screaming this at you, and it's unbearable.
I think Fremont has that smile that Shae had through that vision, that same smile. She has that smile. She knows. She's gotten to her a little bit. This is the first time she's felt accomplished in this whole thing.
You are
Be seeing
never
you then.
going to find your way out of this corridor, Fremont. I will enjoy showing them you losing your mind, pacing back and forth.
I guess we'll find out. And see if I'm stronger, if I'm strong enough, or that you were weak enough to break the first time. I will enjoy seeing it.
Reinhold, you have retrieved coffee.
I have. I have.
You've
A tiny
retrieved
bazooka,
coffee.
but I'm not going to use it. Yes, I have
And you
retrieved
start to
I have a
walk.
thermos of coffee.
You begin to walk up the same stairwell. And you're not really sure how you got to where you were before, but you hit a floor. Maybe 20 levels from the top. You turn off in a corridor and it just feels right. There's another staircase that you take. You go up and up. And it's like entering meditation as some subconscious bit of your mind takes over and leads you on this route. Through a door that you feel like it should normally be locked. And then you're in that long corridor again, and you're walking past the room with the grass. And you turn left. It just feels like you should turn left. You turn into a room with a table in it. And sitting in one of the chairs is the woman you have come to know as Shae. And she sits quite comfortably. Hello, Reinhold. Did you
Shae?
bring me coffee? And she smiles at you.
I did. I brought us. Talon makes a mean cup of coffee. I'm gonna need a cup. Can I like manifest things? Can I like try to see if we're in like a mind palace type situation, if I can just like manifest 2 coffee cups to kind of gauge whether
Go
we're
ahead
in
and
reality
make
or not?
me a psi test with a bonus dice.
Oh Lord. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 5, 6, 7. Help me out here, Virginia.
3, 9, 10, 13, 15, 21, 24,
Why she works
25.
for a gaming company, folks. That's why she makes the big bucks. Go ahead.
You think about manifesting these 2 cups, and 2 cups manifest on the table. Shae looks at it, looks at the cups.
They look like this.
There's
They have
a hint
eyes
of-
all over the cups.
There's a hint of surprise. She's like, "That's clever. How did you do that?"
You don't give me enough credit. I'm very clever. You haven't seen what I can do. And it's not the only thing I'm good at. I have a passion for poetry. Do you like poetry?
I don't really remember.
I've been thinking about, ever since you and I started our relationship, been thinking about a lines, Virgil, what eye is it that has fascinated my tender lambs. You ever heard that?
No.
It's
She
really
picks up
fascinating.
one
You've
of
ever
the
heard of the
cups.
concept of the? Yeah, it's good. Talon knows what she's doing.
She takes a sip of this coffee. And you can see she's kind of turning over the flavor in her mouth, and she's like, I remember coffee. And there's like a distant look in her eyes. She takes another sip. Yes. Every morning before my shift, coffee.
It's good.
Caro. And at the mention
I'm
of his
sorry
name,
about-
you see her face kind of turn.
I'm sorry about Carol. You guys were close, yeah?
We shared a cell. I tried to stop him from going mad.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
It worked. He was shielded. And then somebody shot him.
You know who?
Your friend, the chimp.
Oh, yeah. He's a mess. Don't even get me started on him.
Clever, though.
Yeah, very clever.
About the only
very
one
clever.
that didn't follow my instructions to come up here. Honestly, I think he might be the smartest one of you all.
Certainly the most dangerous. Have you ever heard of the concept of the evil eye?
Do enlighten me, Reinhold. I haven't heard of much in the years I've been up here.
Sure. It goes back to Greek antiquity. Many cultures believe that, receiving the evil eye will cause misfortune or injury, while others believe that it's kind of a supernatural force that casts or even reflects a malevolent gaze back upon those who would wish harm upon others, especially innocents.
What's your
I
point?
have too many eyes. Shae. I mean, it's pretty obvious. People are polite about it, but I've always taken it as a good luck charm because it helped me to see my opponents more clearly than I think other people see them. And I've gotten over my rage at you, Shae. It's okay to be broken. Do you understand? It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be shattered. I'm telling you it's okay. It's okay to sit and drink coffee in our mutual brokenness and just relax for a minute.
I'm not trying to fix the brokenness, Reinhold. I'm trying to show up that disgrace of a hall of justice.
Sure. Well, I've been thinking about that too. An autocracy cannot last. Okay. Like eventually, even though I think the Earth is in its fourth extinction event by this time. This whole hall of justice thing, I get it. I quit. And not just because I murdered judges thinking we're controlled by you. That door is closed. It's a system that it cannot be perpetuated the way it is now. What you want, you'll get in time, and innocent people don't have to go crazy or die to get there. Do you understand?
Are you trying to convince her of this, Reinhold?
I am.
Genuinely convince her?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and roll me a logic test.
Oh, cripes.
Trav, you've got a crit success.
Or
I know. I was
Or
looking at this little
charisma.
purple thing. Wait, where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. What does this thing do, Virginia? Look at this little guy.
gives you a automatic success on a roll.
Which would just drive you crazy as a DM. I mean, if I was the DM, that would just makes me insane. And I have to say that while that's a great idea, I am gonna roll it because I want the fates involved in this. I don't want to, if she tries to
Okay.
kill me, I'm gonna use the little purple thing. But until then,
Logic or
Okay, so
charisma?
logic.
Or charisma.
Okay, well, I'm doing charisma.
Yeah, I feel
Along
that.
with, if you think you have a relevant skill,
Do you have
You know,
flirt,
you should.
Trav?
Sadly, he did not take flirting in a clone psych college.
what
I
skills
have
have you got?
I got perception. I got insight. That's not bad. I'm not trying to read her mind. I'll do insight.
Insight will work, because if you're trying to convince her of this and find a way to convince her of it based on what you know of her, go ahead and add that.
All right. Okay.
Do you want to use any luck if you have any?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to spend 2 luck. 12, 16, 17, 20, 23.
23. She gets up from the table and she's got her back to you. She turns round and there is a burning in her eyes. She looks at you and your coffee cup and hers shatter. Coffee going everywhere. Sorry, I just noticed Charlie singing. And the coffee cup shatters. And she steps back. And you are pushed in your chair, and it's not painful, but you are pushed to the other side of the room. She stands there. You know when somebody's angry and they're just they can't take in enough breath to calm themselves down. And it's like the image of fanning flames. Grease. You are the only one left, as far as you know, in the refuge. What are you doing? Your fellow judges, all of them, as far as you know, have
Oh,
succumbed.
I followed Reinhold up.
You followed Reinhold up, okay.
Yeah, I've been tailing him.
You followed him up the stairs. Just go ahead and make me an agility test, specifically with the perception skill if you have it.
Let's see. Perception. No, I don't.
Just straight up agility then.
What about movies?
Not this
No,
time.
it's okay. Let's roll. 17.
17. Okay. You do manage to keep up with Reinhold, and he doesn't notice that you're there. There's something about the way that he walks that's almost like watching somebody on autopilot, but you manage to slip in through the door that he goes to at the very top of these stairs. And you find yourself in this corridor. And as you hear the door slam behind you and you look back to see no one has followed you, the door is still there. Reinhold has disappeared off, you think, round a corner somewhere, but where you stand, you can hear banging somewhere. There's a slight whiff of cigarette smoke. You can hear "You're so vain" being shouted, muffled by the sound of metal walls.
All right, well, that's kind of weird, but, you know, hey, to each their own. All right, so he's going in there. I should go in there. I shouldn't go in there. No, I should. No, I should. No, I should. No, I shouldn't. Okay, but if I go in there, I gotta take this medicine. He puts the tablet into his mouth and he swallows. Okay, so I took the medicine.
There's a strange kind of warm feeling as you take it. Your brain feels a bit fuzzy for a second before you feel fine.
Okay. All right. It's okay. Okay, so should go in there. But I don't wanna. What has Reinhold ever done for me?
You hear a
Besides,
gunshot.
just he's fine. He doesn't need me. Starts walking away a little bit. Then he looks back at the door.
The gunshot didn't come from the direction that you think Reinhold went in. It came from somewhere else down that corridor. You have very acute hearing, Grease. You know this.
Who's shooting people? Oh, man. Okay. I can go in there. I can be a hero. Let me roll a dice. He pulls out like a little six-sided dice. I'm going in. And he just runs right at the door and tries to slam into it.
You slam into it. The door bursts open. Inside, you see Judge Waits and Judge Waits. Judy, as you blink and watch with this strange... It's just like having... This is all you can see. You've got no field of vision if you turn your head. It's just like watching a television screen. You see the door slam open, and is that Grease? Judge Waits, you hear the gunshot go off beside your head. And if you open your eyes, you see yourself staring back at you with a loaded lawgiver. As a fist comes flying towards your face. Your own fist towards your face. Except there's something off about the you that you're looking at. The blood-drenched front of the uniform. You're looking at you in your hungry state.
In a red, raw voice, because she's been screaming the lyrics. She just screams, "I am the law," and just waits for the fist to connect. Eyes like wide open.
Judy, you are powerless as you watch this, as the fist connects, hitting Waits. And then the other Waits turns around and looks at Grease as he's come through the door. Grease, you just watch this as one Waits punches the other. And the one that's just thrown the punch turns to look at you, and you can see the blood all down the mouth and the front of this uniform. You've probably only seen this once before, directly after Waits has fed.
Oh no, there's two vampires. I fucking hate my life. And he's like, oh man, I'm gonna enjoy this. And he starts cocking the lawgiver.
Judy,
Bang.
you can only watch as Grease raises the gun and fires off a shot. And just before you can see if anything connects, you blink, and the vision changes, and you can see Fremont in this corridor that seems to go on forever, pacing down it, determined. The view here is fuzzier. Before it was crystal clear, like you were standing watching from above, but this one, it's like watching on bad CCTV, and you don't know why. It's grainy and it's flickery. You don't see anybody else, though. Talon. Eventually, you stand there smoking your cigarette long enough, and in the wisps of the smoke, where you can see the heat coming off the end of the cigarette, you know, you get that slight shimmering effect when something's hot near a heat source, like watching a candle flame. You can just see up ahead where the figures of Janet and Grease are banging on this glass, apparently running out of oxygen. You just see the flicker of the blue at the medical center, just in that slight heat mirage. Maybe you really are where you thought you were. And Reinhold.
She walks towards it.
Oh, God.
I was gonna say, if she sees that flicker, she's gonna walk towards it, and hands outstretched until she can come in contact with physical.
You begin walking, looking, and up ahead you can't see the medical center. All you can see is Jana and Grease. Both of them getting weaker now as they bang on the glass. But you keep your hands outstretched in faith that soon you'll touch the cold metal of the medical center. And Judge Reinhold, you're sat across the other side of the room as you watch Shae back against the wall. And she's shaking. It's a terrified kind of shaking, as she looks at you with wide eyes in horror. You're not sure what this means yet, but you know that what you said touched something. That is where we're going to leave Dredd for tonight, as we gear up to see how you deal with Shae. Can Judy find a way to stop something potentially terrible happening? Can Waits face herself? Can Grease come in and save the day, be the hero like he imagined, like his movie stars? Can Talon be the only one to break free of this vision? And can Fremont find the end of the corridor? I guess we'll find out in the finale.
It is that time of the week. I'm going to put up Judge of the Week. Here we go. But before I hit the go on the poll for that, where you can vote for who you believe is Judge of the Week and give them a big old boon for that epic finale that is coming up next week, let's go and check in with our lore meter. Virginia, I think we did a lot of great things today to really reinforce the lore and peace here in Freedom Falls. What do you think?
It drops by 1.
Well, we deserved that. There we go.
You did
All
shoot
right,
some legit judges. And then get on the media.
We started it. We didn't do the media thing.
Hey, check out Judy's pirate broadcast to find out how innocent we are.
Not innocent at all. Super not innocent.
You still have your body cam on though, Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talon did a broadcast too. Right, all right, poll. That's what we're doing. Let me get this outro back on track. There we go. Poll is now in chat. Exclamation point, vote, space, and then the number of your judge of the week to give out that boon. While that is ticking down, let's go around the clock, say hello, goodbye, and all of that good stuff. Zippy Zippo, hello friend. How you doing? Where can
Hello.
we find you on the internet? And what was your favorite part of tonight's game?
Well, I'm Zippy Zippo. You can find me here on Twitch at the Zippy Zippo and on Twitter, the same handle. I do apologize for coming in late, but I had to finish some stuff. My favorite part was Charlie singing "You're So Vain." It was awesome. I liked it. Mwah. Perfect.
Thanks, friends. I put stupidly in chat that if we hit 100 subscribers this season on Encounter Roleplay overall, that we will do an ERP Twitch Sings for charity, and you can see all of your favorite cast members singing with varying degrees of tone deafness, I imagine. Although I do happen to know some of the cast members can sing very well. So we are currently at 84 subscribers on the channel. I only hit 85 this stream, which was kind of my goal. So I'm very excited. Thank you all so much if you hit that resub button, and thank you all so much if you are a new subscriber. I hope you enjoy the shows. And on a couple of our shows, the wonderful, the ineffable Dark Mistress Susanna Grace.
Oh, hey,
Same
that's
question.
me. I really enjoyed Grease blocking out Shae with the memory of walking in on his mum. It was perfect. You know, you got to turn those psyop tactics against the user, right? And who wants that mental image?
Exactly.
So I think bravo. I think if Judy found out Grease did that, she'd be like, nice. Proud of you. Give you a drink. But yeah, as for me, I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace. I'm a variety streamer who does video games, art streams, and tabletop RPGs. You can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace, and you'll find me next on Encounter Roleplay on Monday for the Crownlands, in which I play the lovely Lady Allegra Dorsey. And I'm looking forward to see what terrible things our family get up to.
I also am looking forward to that as GM of that game. But the GM who first sang to me on stream in a slot somewhere around this time in the not so distant past, the wonderful and supremely talented producer Travis. How you doing,
Oh
friend?
no, And Charlie, you know I can't take praise. Yes, so that was awesome. Just like I love that our previous campaign, like I lost and it was all went to hell and we killed the wrong guy and it was like the Empire Strikes Back. Like it all went to shit and then it was over, which is great because some stories end that way. And then this one is like we're bringing all these narrative threads back around. And also, you know, I don't have to bust out Sid Field's screenplay to have, you know, this. I love that he's having this arc where he got over his rage and his self loss, and now like it not only embraces it but is trying to actually hit the villain where it hurts, which is like her heart. Oh, they're precious. Anyway, also this was a great Grease episode. You got to give it up. Funny as hell and just a great character. These are all great characters that really fit together on a circle. But Grease is like, I've been thinking about it, that monkey wrench, pun intended, character that just when everybody turns left, he was right. And there was some genuinely funny shit, the whole bit with his mom. But I'm not done. Susanna Grace in chat, OMG, Shae is so petty, like get over it already. That's some funny shit. I had to clip it. And then also Charlie saying with the coffee cup and me reading Wikipedia. So this is what dating Trav is like. Yes, I drink coffee and will continue on prattle on about things I don't really know about. I'm producer Trav. I produce WebDM, which you should watch because it's really fun. My daughter is standing here and she wants me to go eat dinner. Also, hey, go to my Twitter, which is producer Trav, and check out this Photoshop thing I made, my pinned tweet, which took me way too long, and it's awesome. I'm gonna play an Aliens game on February 7th, and I really screwed up and threw too many aliens at them, and they might not make it even an hour into the adventure, so you won't want to miss it. I can't wait for the finale next week, and all the cool stuff we got going on ERP. That's a big secret. Shh. Only Charlie knows for sure. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to play this game with these awesome people. Also, I didn't get to say something nice about Judge Talon. I love saying raw shit to Kat. I want to play a World War I game where me and Kat just die in a foxhole somewhere and just fucking. Oh, sorry, excuse me. My kid's in the room. So anyway, good times. Thank you.
And while Trav retreats to the naughty corner, let's go and talk to Queen of the Naughty Corner, but also Queen of the Delightful Corner with the buffet, the wonderful Cleric of Cord, and Judge Talon.
Oh, anytime, Travis. Anytime. We'll do this. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord on Twitter, playing games, and the image of Grease's mom, the two different yet similar approaches to psyops with Judge Waits and Judge Grease was just that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I love this game. I can't believe next week is our last one, and I'm gonna miss this so much. Games, yes, I play games on the internet with my friends. Except this Sunday, come back at 3 p.m. Eastern for the Meat Grinder. Help us raise money for Wires Australia. To help out with that, please, we would love to see you. We've got the Killer GM doing some really killer stuff with these players. Next Wednesday, 3 p.m. on Tales from the Grim with our episode 2 of The Watchers, and then at 4 p.m. on Other Doc channel playing Masks. And then Thursday on Wandering DM channel at... Those are Pacific times, by the way. Check my pinned tweet. I'll have it up there. I'm playing Masks this week. A lot. Every week. It's great.
Awesome. Well, Secret Identity is out. Cat lives in the Pacific Zone time. That's what I know. The star of the battle against the psychic. Always a devious and brilliant mind. The wonderful Shauna, aka Flying Cirrus.
Yeah, thanks. God, yeah, I'll have to say I did love the singing and the terrible memories to combat. It was delightful. I loved it so much, and I'm gonna miss this game. It's been so much fun. Just went by super fast and enjoyed it so much. But yeah, psychic stuff, I love it. It's great, terrifying. But yeah, I'm Flying Cirrus Shauna. You can find me streaming games all over the place, and then artwork on there as well, which I've been doing some in the pipe for the Game of Thrones games, the Crown lands on Monday, and then following that, it's the Onyx Pass channel. It is Seattle by Streetlight, a Chronicles of Darkness game, and on Thursday, it's on Follow Black Cats. It's the spy game where I put in a little drone helper that's going to be called Tetley, and I hope it does okay. That's it. And next week, I can't wait. Next week is the finale.
And writer of Tetleyverse, worker and weaver of psychic abuse, as well as the law, games mistress, tabletop horde, aka Virginia.
There are so many favourite moments this week. I had to have a week where I drew you all into her terrible lair. I did not expect Reinhold, though, to try and hit her where it hurts and, like, genuinely just try to bring her around. So my entire plan for next week has now changed. And I think it's going to be great. I constantly love Greece's wonderful imaginative ways of dealing with things. Just like, do you know, I'm done singing songs. House of the Rising Sun didn't work. Have me walking in on my mum. Let's just show her that and see if that gets her out. And just Reinhold being as Reinhold can be. Charlie singing. I've only just looked at our chat on our actual video window to see things like Shot Through the Heart. Edited lyrics, which is what I was giggling about if anyone was wondering. Fremont just telling Shae how it is, and just like such good use of that narrative boon, which is why I like giving them to you as Judge of the Week. Talon being the one that like is just like, this isn't real, and just trying to find her way through it and slowly doing so. And I'm interested to see how Waits reacts to fighting herself. Especially after her whole arc in the previous one of struggling with who she was and dealing with her mutation and, you know, the strange writings on the time she literally defaced a wall and wrote herself a ticket for it. And it's fun kind of bringing back some references to the other campaign. I love this. I'm going to miss this game so much. But hi, I'm Virginia, otherwise known as Tabletop Horde. You can find me on Twitter under that name and on Twitch as Tabletop Horde. Every Wednesday, I stream Let's Play streams, video games, and right now I'm doing the classic Tomb Raider series. We're on Tomb Raider 1. There is a lot of Lara deaths, and it's hilarious. And every other Monday, I do a follower-voted stream. So up on my Twitter after the show tonight will be the poll for you to vote on what I stream this coming Monday. I can't remember what the options are that I've written down now, but they're probably hilarious and fun. So please come and check me out. And as Charlie mentioned, I am also slowly in the background writing my own little RPG called Tetleyverse, mostly because me and Susie joked about it in a stream once, and I was like, this needs to be an RPG where you play humans getting Tetleys to their rightful universes. But it's a little way off, but we're getting there now. There's enough Tetleys. Thanks to Susie and Shauna.
So thank you very much from me. I'm at Frost and Fire, aka at Encounter Roleplay. We are here 5 days a week at the moment, plus this Sunday even. As mentioned, we have our monthly Meet Grindum charity stream for Wires Australia. We've got a cast of, I think, 12 people standing by and reserves that our killer GM has promised to kill. So come by, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get dramatic deaths, we're going to get creative solutions, and it's D&D 5e, so if you're familiar with the system, it should be very easy to follow. If you have enjoyed Judge Dredd, I would like to tell you that you can listen to this in podcast format over on your favorite platforms, including Spotify. So if you miss us, you can find us over there. Oh yeah. So that is everything from me. Please come back next week for the finale of the show. Tell your friends to come and check it out. Will there be more songs? There will be more fighting. That is for sure. There will be blood. I am the law. This is Encounter Roleplay. This is Judge Dredd. Our Judge of the Week is Reinhold. We will see the effects of that next week and next time. And until then, try not to roll too many nat ones because we want to be there laughing when you do. Stand by for raid. See you soon.